Welcome to the Piedmont Unitarian Universalist Church. Piedmont UU sits on the traditional land of the Catawba, Kiowa, and Sugaree peoples. We honor them. My name is Robin Mara, and I'll be worship assistant this morning for Reverend Dr. Amy Rio. We are a flourishing, vibrant, and radically welcoming congregation, which promotes diversity, inclusion, and social justice. We provide a safe haven for creative intellectual growth, spiritual development, and a deep sense of community for all who join us. We hope our liberal religious values will challenge you to join us as a community that lives boldly and acts justly. To all our visitors and members, we're very glad you're here in person or with us online, and we hope to see you again soon. Your presence is a gift to us. We have some announcements for this Sunday. Reverend Amy is offering a UU 101 Zoom class on Tuesday evening for anyone who's interested in possible membership and would like to learn more about UU history and beliefs. Please let Reverend Amy know if you'd like to attend. All members are invited to our congregational meeting 1 week from today after the service. We're voting on 6 new capital projects for church improvements. There will also be a virtual option for attending too. And if you have any questions, send those to finance@puuc.org. And for other information about our vibrant community, please see your orders of service, or if you're on our email list, please check our monthly newsletter and weekly announcements. Whatever brought you to this place at this hour, we welcome you. May you find something you need, and may you leave richer in spirit than when you arrived.
Hear now these words from Florence Kaplow. We light this chalice in honor of the animal realm, furred and hoofed, two-legged, four-legged, many-legged, fanged and clawed, gentle and fierce, wild and tame. May we remember that all animals are our relatives, worthy of our care and respect. I invite you to please join me now in singing the words to the lighting of our chalice, the symbol of our faith. I invite you now to please rise and body your spirit for our grounding poem. Come into animal presence. No one is so guileless as the serpent. The lonely white rabbit on the roof is a star twitching its ears. The llama intricately folding its hind legs to be seated, not disdains but mildly disregards human approval. Why joy when the insolent armadillo glances at us and doesn't quicken his trotting across the track and into the palm brush? What is this joy that no animal falters but knows what it must do, that the snake has no blemish, that the rabbit inspects its strange surroundings in white star silence, the llama rests in dignity, the armadillo has some intention to pursue in the palm forest. Those who were sacred have remained so. Holiness does not dissolve, it is a presence of bronze. Only the sights they saw, it faltered and turned from it. And old joy returns into holy presence. Our opening hymn is found in our gray hymnal, number 175, We Celebrate the Web of Life. Please be seated, and I invite any of our little ones to come and join Miss Madia up front.
Good morning, everyone. Today, in collaboration with our lovely choir who plans on singing a song for all of the children today, they're going to sing Teddy Bear Picnic. I'm going to read from Corduroy by Don Freeman. This is one of my favorite books when I was a kid. Corduroy was a bear who lived in a big department store. He lived on the shelf next to other stuffed animals and dolls and toys. And he would watch every day as people came and they would shop and they would buy. And Corduroy just wanted to find a home and he could find his friend. And one day, Corduroy watched this little girl come up and she said, "Mommy, I want to buy that bear." And the mom said, "We can't today, honey. We've spent so much already. And besides, he's missing a button." And Corduroy watched them sadly as they walked away. "I didn't know I'd lost a button," he said to himself. "Tonight, I'll go and see if I can find it." So Corduroy climbs down from his shelf and he goes on an adventure through the department store, up the escalator, which was a very new experience for this teddy bear. And he finds a room with all of these little beds and mattresses. And he climbs on top of one of the beds and he finds buttons. So many buttons. "Why, there's my button," he cried, and he tried to pick it up, but like all of the other buttons on the mattress, it was tied down tight. He yanked and pulled with both paws until pop! Off came the button and off the mattress. Corduroy toppled, bang, into a tall floor lamp. Over it fell with a crash. Corduroy didn't know it, but there was someone else awake in the store. The night watchman was doing his rounds on the floor above. When he heard the crash, he came dashing down the escalator. "Now who in the world did that?" he exclaimed. "Somebody must be hiding around here." He flashed his light under and over sofas and beds until he came to the biggest bed of all, and there he saw 2 fuzzy brown ears sticking up from under the cover. "Hello," he said. "How did you get upstairs?" The watchman tucked Corduroy under his arm and carried him down the escalator and set him on a shelf in the toy department with other animals and dolls. Corduroy was just waking up when the first customers came into the store in the morning, and there, looking at him with a wide, warm smile, was the same little girl he'd only seen the day before. "I'm Lisa," she said, "and you're going to be my very own bear. Last night, I counted what I've saved in my piggy bank, and my mother said I could bring you home." Any pictures? "Shall I put him in a box for you?" the saleslady asked. "Oh, no, thank you," Lisa answered, and she carried Corduroy home in her arms. She ran all the way up 4 flights of stairs into her family's apartment and straight to her own room. Corduroy blinked. There was a chair and a chest of drawers, and alongside a girl-sized bed stood a little bed, just the right size for him. The room was small, nothing like that enormous palace in the department store. "This must be home," he said. "I know, I've always wanted a home." Lisa sat down with Corduroy on her lap and began to sew a button on his overalls. "I like you the way you are," she said, "but you'll be more comfortable with your shoulder strap fastened." "You must be a friend," said Corduroy. "I've always wanted a friend." "Me too," said Lisa, and gave him a big hug. Will you stand up for the song? No, stay. Oh, stay. Will you stay for the song?
Haley, why don't you stay? Special for the kids.
And me. My favorite song.
Kids of all ages. If you
Thank you so much, Madia, and our children and our choir for a wonderful time for all ages today. So now at this time, we are going to enter into our time for ritual and sacred sharing. We share joys and sorrows, concerns and milestones. For this week, we light a candle for all of our special animal friends, and especially for beloved animal friends who are no longer with us. For all who are dealing with COVID during these days. For an end to political violence and for a peaceful democratic process. For an end to the epidemic of gun violence. For all who have been suffering and impacted by extreme weather. For an end to the suffering for the people in Gaza and for their immediate relief. For the ongoing struggle for civil rights in Iran. For all areas of violence around the world, especially Haiti, the Sudan, the Middle East, and the war in Ukraine. Now at this time, you are welcome to come forward as you feel called to do so. You're invited to come forward along the wall with the far aisle. You may fill out a prayer card and place that on the prayer wall. You may light your own candle, or you may drop some stones in our shared water for whatever joy or concern or whatever is on your heart today. We now light a few more candles for the things we hold in our hearts. and also for those who are joining us virtually to honor what is in their hearts as well. Now, I invite us now into a time of quiet rest, meditation, or prayer. I will sound the singing bowl, and then we will have a period of silence. And during this time, I invite you to imagine what some of your favorite animals are. It may be an animal you physically have with you this morning, or maybe one of your favorite birds that goes by your house and sits there by a window, or just whatever animal that you feel connected with. Just to imagine that you are actually present with that animal as you take deep breaths and feel connected with all of creation.
Today's wisdom reading is Blessing of the Animals by Thomas Rhodes. You, birds of the air, hawk, sparrow, and laughing jay, you embody freedom itself. Delight us with your song and astound us with feats of migration. Grant us your perspective, for too often our horizon is limited, and we are blind to the full results of our actions. You, worms of the earth, ants, beetles, spiders, and centipedes, you are the essential but oft-forgotten strand in nature's web. Through you, the cycle is complete. Through you, new life arises from old. Remind us of our humility, for the wheel of life does not turn around us. We are not the axle, but merely spokes, no less than unseen, unknown, and shunned companions, such as yourselves. You, creatures of the forest and wood and field, marsh and desert, bear and bison, skunk and squirrel, weasel and wolf. Too often we have sacrificed your homes in the name of progress, clear-cutting the forest to fill our desire, or covering the earth with tarmac, cement, and suburban lawns. Pray that we may remember that the earth was not given for our needs alone. And what we do to you we eventually do to ourselves. You, animals of the farm, horse and cow, pig and fowl, willingly or not, you give your very lives for us. Your milk for our nourishment, your flesh for our sustenance. Yet too often we forget that the meat on our tables was once as alive as we are. Forgive our willful ignorance and remind us constantly to give thanks for your sacrifice. And you, dearest companions in our lives, dogs and cats, hamsters and goldfish, you who are with us today, and you who will always be present in our memories. You have enriched our lives in so many ways, endured our shortcomings with calm acceptance, taught us something of our humanity, taught us how to love. May we hold you in our hearts throughout the days of our lives.
Thank you, Robin. Well, as I was preparing for today's service, I, of course, was thinking about so many of the different animal friends I've had over the years, and there's been a number. And I recalled when I had 2 teenagers, 2 dogs, 2 cats, and a bunny in my home. Definitely had a zoo in many different respects. So. Now, with the blessing of the animals service, I also recalled the very first one I ever attended. I believe the year was 1990. I was a young student at Duke Divinity School, and we had a big blessing of the animal service on the grassy area in front of Duke Chapel one Sunday afternoon. And my husband and I took our little Boston Terrier, Molly, there. And this was a new experience for me. I'd never been to one of these. It was a wonderful, very powerful service. And then after we were walking, everything had ended, and my heart was filled and just felt connected with all creation. If you've been on Duke's campus, they have lots of trees and squirrels. Molly got loose chasing the squirrel, and it took us some time to collect her back. So we never quite know what's going to happen with our animal friends and companions. They show us love, joy, and to go with the flow in whatever life may bring our way. Now, research tells us what many of us have known in our hearts for so long. Being around animals helps our mental, physical, and spiritual health. Now, over 30% of pet owners had improved their physical health with more activity. 20% of pet owners state that their social health has been increased by having a pet. And I know that I've helped people because anytime I'm out taking my walk around my neighborhood, if I see a dog and they're humans, I tend to stop and talk to them, right? Many of us do that. Now, over 50% of people with pets have improved mental health. Sharing one's life with an animal companion helps combat stress, anxiety, and feelings of isolation. It was not hard to imagine that in the spring and summer of 2020, as so many of us were isolated, that pet adoptions went through the roof. And that's how I acquired my own 2 granddogs, which my children tell me I'm their dog's mother, or grandmother. So many of us know that having that companion certainly helps our mental and our spiritual health. It's also no wonder that so many healthcare facilities and hospitals have started adding dogs and even some other animals that will make the rounds to help comfort patients. Research is backing up what so many of us have known for so long. Animals bless us each and every day. How many of us have seen a child who's having a bad day feel better just by hugging a pet and sharing their troubles with it? How many of us have forgotten our own stressful thoughts just by caring for an animal, or even simply watching birds in a tree and listening to their songs? Now as animals bless us each and every day, we haven't even begun to think about the food and clothing. Things like eggs and butter, honey, wool. All the things that animals share with us. We are blessed by animals continually throughout our lives. Now, if you are feeling bored later on today or tomorrow, I invite you to do a Google search about animals rescuing humans, physically rescuing them. I kind of went down the rabbit hole some this past week and found lots of amazing stories. Things beyond just the typical Lassie story of a dog getting help. Those have certainly happened many times. Or, the lovely image of a pod of dolphins helping out someone struggling in the water. There are so many different animals who physically helped rescue humans. The intelligence and connection that such a great variety of animals feel for humanity is beyond what science or our brains can comprehend. Now, the seventh principle for Unitarian Universalists states, in its most basic language, we believe in caring for our planet Earth, the home we share with all living things. We believe in caring for our planet Earth, the home we share with all living things. An essential part of what it means to be Unitarian Universalist is to care for all creation and all creatures. We do so because our souls call us to do so and because it's the right thing to do. And in living out this principle, we know that we are blessed by our animal friends far more than they are blessed by us. Humans and animals are created from the same basic core. We are all creatures of the earth, sharing the DNA of stardust. Animals are truly our siblings, sharing this blue ball that we call home. It is an integrated relationship. They bless us, and we are called to offer our own blessings and respect for them. This is part of our spiritual calling as soul creatures. Today, we give thanks for all the animals who have blessed us in the past, in the present, and in the future. And let us endeavor each day to be a blessing for all the animals who surround us. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen. Okay. I don't know why I just knocked over, but that's okay. So at this time, we're going to actually bless the animals. And Robin and I will walk around. I think I'll start over in this direction. And if you have an actual physical animal with you, just let me know their name. If you have a picture that you brought with you, or if you have a stuffed animal or something, some kind of representation, let me know the name, and I'll offer a blessing. And then Robin has a certificate that she'll hand you, and you can write in the name of the your animal friend that we've blessed today. Now, if you have a dog or cat, Madia has some little dog or cat toys. We will give those to the human person so that y'all can disperse that as you want later on. If you would like to do those, just kind of wave Madia down and she'll hand you one of those items. So, okay. it's time for our musical reflection.
Thank you, Susan. It's beautiful. Thank you. So now let there be an offering to sustain and strengthen this place which is sacred to so many of us, a community of memory and of hope, for we are now the keepers of the dream. This month, we're sharing our offering plate with GreenFaith. Because the earth and all people are sacred and at risk, GreenFaith is building a worldwide multi-faith climate and environmental movement. Together, its members create communities to transform ourselves, our spiritual institutions, and society, to protect the planet and create a compassionate, loving, and just world. We ask that you place your gifts in the baskets as they make their way around the room, and you're always welcome to give online at puuc.org or by texting PUUC at the number 73256. Today's offering will now gratefully be received. We give thanks for these generous gifts from your heart, which help us share our love with all creation. I invite you now to please rise in body or spirit for our closing hymn, found in our great hymnal, number 402, and we're going to sing it through 3 times.
Together
Now, before we extinguish our chalice, I offer thanks for all the many volunteers who helped make our worship service possible today. We also ask that before you leave, if you can take your hymnals and place them back on the cart near the piano, that's always a big help. Now, let us do as we do each Sunday as we continue in a spirit of joy and of sacredness by giving thanks. So I invite you to give thanks either verbally or in your hearts for what you are grateful today. Yes.
I'm grateful to my son and grandson who rescued me when my tire blew out on I-85 on Friday.
Okay, Anne's very grateful. We are too, for her son and grandson who rescued her when her tire blew out on I-85, which is very glad that they were there and could help you, Anne. Yes. Yes. Glad you're okay, too.
And I'm glad the 2.25 inches of rain I got last night did not skip me this time.
Connie is grateful the rain did not skip her and her wonderful garden. So,
I'm grateful for my companions who joined me last night for our drum circle.
yes, grateful for the drum circle last night and for Gazette leading that, and the people who were present. So, yes, Mel.
I'm thankful for Gail's love of critters, including her family of raccoons, mouse, and she was even concerned about a spider hanging on my mirror coming over here. Yeah.
Mel is grateful for Gail's love of all animals, especially family of raccoons and critters and even spiders. So, yes, that's good.
I'm grateful for dogs.
Grateful for dogs. Yes.
Cats.
And cats.
I'm grateful that I have daughters, a little Chihuahua buddy while she's out of the country, and he's just a love, and he's wonderful.
Yeah, Gail's grateful to look after her daughter's doggie while she's out of the country. So,
I'm grateful for music, for Anne's music and Susan's, and the Teddy Bears Picnic song.
yes, for all the wonderful music today, the choir, the special Teddy Bears Picnic, and Susan's beautiful playing, and Anne always. So,
And I'm grateful for all the faith communities that celebrate our companions, feathered and furry, and living underground, and creepy crawlers and everything.
yes, for all the faith communities that celebrate all the animals, whoever they may be. So, well, we give thanks for all these things and so much more, which we hold in our hearts this morning. As we go forth, let us hear and bless the beasts and the singing birds, and guard with tenderness small things that have no words. Blessed be. We now extinguish our chalice, but we carry its light, its warmth, and its meaning with us until we meet again. May we go in peace, create peace wherever we may wander. May it be so. Now, for our closing song, we form a circle, and whatever form that we might be able to make. You may hold hands if you would like to do so, or you may simply place your hands over your heart.